Hey guys, this is Big Skyfinger from Knights of Ni, and I'm on Little Skyfinger to show you how I go about attacking a silo base if I don't have access to bazookas. First of all, you may notice Little Skyfinger is of the Korean nation. Koreans and British are very good for line attacking. Just for the simple fact that their nation special troop is the shooter. So I will show you how I set up a line attack on a silo base. This is going to be fun because as you can see, I am a level 133 here. So it's going to be kind of a hold my beer type of attack. So yeah. In case you did not see my bazooka video, I tend to kind of split up my troops in my head into 4 different groups. I have the forest defender distraction, the silo distraction, my main force, and then my cards and planes. That way it just kind of makes things a little bit less overwhelming, because that's the last thing that you want to do when you do a silo base attack is get overwhelmed. It just goes really bad, trust me. Anyways, so for my forest distraction, I use 3 foot troops, and for my main army, I use 6 to 8 howitzers or artillery or your equivalent, 1 to 3 wall breakers, and the rest shooters. I use the highest level generals possible. If they are not 21 or higher, then I add in a heavy tank. As you can see here, I have a level 13 and a level 12, so I definitely need at least 1 heavy tank, if not 2, but we're going to try this with 1. In the mercenary camp, I always, no matter what age you're in, recommend using high hit point things just to help with absorbing some of the extra damage, so your main army can get to work. For the cards, I use 1 suppress, something for defenders, and at least 1 for taking out buildings. I don't have a suppress on here. The closest thing that I have would be this fire lance, which goes after defenders. So I put in this commando army just to kind of help pave the way. And interestingly enough, the commandos have made a huge comeback in the game. There are top players out there that use nothing but commandos and maybe like a couple of heavy tanks. And yeah, it's just insane. But anyways, enough of the rambling. Let me show you. Okay, I have 2 sabotage and 4 decoys, and of course the blitzkrieg that I get from the Brandenburg Gate. With a line attack, you need to have as many decoys as possible. They need to kind of pave the way for your damaging main army without being completely slaughtered, because they are a bit vulnerable. But that's the problem with silo bases, is that you cannot use a meat shield like the way that you would with a non-silo base. So just something to think about. Coalitions, again, if you didn't see my first video, I like using Aztecs. I have Americans and Ethiopians on here, or I don't have Ethiopians, but Americans and Ethiopians is what I use for Big Skyfinger. I do not for Little Skyfinger, and here's why. We're looking at mostly factory troop attack damage. It's not a very big deal to me. I may use that as a 3rd card just to help my planes, but mainly I am looking at using Mongols which is excellent if you use anything like barrage, and I think possibly demolition, but I'm not crazy about those attack tactics, but you know, just food for thought. So yeah, Aztecs would be the big one, Mongols for the extra troops, possibly Cherokee. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not crazy about the coalitions that I have available for my attack style on this one, so I'm not too picky. Anyways, so yeah, you ready to hold my beer? Because this is going to be interesting. All right, here we go. So you can see that I have here my generals. I requested either howitzers or bazookas. Either one's fine. It's just to give you a little bit of extra edge. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so here we have a level 203 atomic age base with bastions and generals that are kind of on the edge, and a silo base, or silo right there. So for me, this is also a rectangular shape. And with rectangular shapes, I tend to like to take the long side, because if you do the shorter side, like for example, little Skyfinger here, for the most part has a rectangular base. Say I were to come up here at the Alliance Gate side, what's going to happen is they're going to start coming down, and the troops are going to split. And that's okay if that's what you want them to do, but most of the time that ends very, very badly. So yeah, so I like to do long side, and sometimes with long side you can do one long side and then hit the other long side, have them meet in the middle, and you'll get your quick Vic with your 50% damage. So anyways, going back in. Okay, one big thing to note here, and will really drive the way that I do this attack, is we have mills and markets that are lined up right next to each other. That right there is almost, that's probably about 15% of the base right there. So, yeah. So I'm going to just pick two sides, and we're going to go with it. Let's see here. I will do, since I am picking on someone bigger than me, I'm not going to spread out quite as much. The closer your troops are together, the stronger their forces are. And you want to find a happy medium with it, because at the same time, you don't want your guys to be too spread out, because then they're vulnerable. But at the same time, you don't want them too close either. Otherwise, it's just going to kind of overcomplicate things. See, I'm not even all the way in yet, and I have done 16% of the base. I'm going to hit that quick Vic really, really soon. Okay, they're getting closer to the walls now, so I'm going to go ahead and put my wall breakers down. And then I'm going to put a decoy. You don't want to do them too early, because you want to save your hit points on your main troops. I'm getting distracted. This is hard. I can't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. Yeah. That was hard, man. Getting my butt kicked. Well, I'm going to do another attack to show you. I mean, I'm picking on someone bigger than me here, so. But yeah. But I mean, as you can see, I did do 31% of the base. I could probably try to up my percentage. Watch how much I get once I finish that. Mark it right there. It's going to jump up a lot. 33%, so that's 2%. And I mean, that just varies for how many buildings one has on a base. But I mean, as you can see, see right here, this oil refinery too. There's not a lot there, so I could take that. Probably won't have enough time. My planes are not quite as strong on here, but I mean, if you think about like an atomic age, and see, actually that was a good display right there too. Silos can take out your planes, so you've got to be careful about the timing whenever you see that spool up. Okay, 33%. Yeah. Okay, now if you're really ready to see some craziness, check out this base. If this is the one that I think it is, it irritates me. Yep, here it is. Look at those bastions. Oh, this one's actually different. Similar idea though. Nice. Yeah. He's well aware that his bases piss me off. Alright, so for this one, this is going to be really fun. 231. This is almost 100 levels above me. I'm going to avoid the generals. I'm going to try to save those for last. I see we have Acropolis stuff going on over here, so I'm going to do Forest Distraction. And I took out his forest defenders there. And not a lot of ATG over here, so I'm just going to do that. When you're in World War, you can help your line attacks keep from straying just by kind of sticking something on the end. Ooh, this is going to be gnarly. Yes, I totally said that. Okay, and we're just paving the way. My deployment is almost too close to the silo distraction. Those howitzers right here probably going to get taken out. Whew, Sam's. And here comes the exploding anthill. Gone. Always want your Acropolis. But yeah, that should give you guys somewhat of an idea. Let me show you the same basic idea, only without a silo, because that I can do. And at least you'll see me hitting my same level. Though it is always a good idea to try to aim to hit like 20 levels above you if you're planning to be a striker, which most alliances have a dire need for strikers versus defenders. You'll just have to talk to your alliance leader about that, or if you're an alliance leader, then that might be something you might want to think about. So yeah, anyways, do I have some? There we go. Let's try that. Okay. For a level 133, this war base actually defends quite well. It's kind of interesting. But, you know, what I was saying about the base shapes is just take a look at the overall shape. It's got kind of a necktie look here. Think of it as a skewed rectangle. And from there, you can just kind of split your heavies. And you can make your shooters drop faster too, just simply by holding down a little bit and then adding a finger or two or three, or, you know, all your fingers and toes, whatever you like. Follow the necktie and watch how fast we get a 50% here. We're almost there. Boom. And that is the trick to, oh wow, I didn't even use those. Sometimes I forget, not gonna lie. But yeah, anytime you have a base that has a Forbidden City, then you should automatically plan to make it as fast of an attack as possible. Don't ever try to split up your troops. Bad things happen when you split up your guys. Yeah, teamwork, right? So yeah, that would be how you would go with a non-silo base. So if you can apply that to having a silo, the difference is that you're taking all of your heavy hit point stuff and you're moving them off to sides. That way the silo can just go nuts on that. I hope that I covered everything, but if there was something that I kind of glossed over, or maybe there's some questions that popped up, feel free to message me, or you know, make a comment somewhere on the Knights of Knee server or whatever. But I'm always happy to answer questions, and if I don't have an answer to a question, I'll find it. So anyway, see you guys later.